Bear the piss for the time being. If you are free, my wife and I would love to have you for dinner. I can help you tell the version of events you want to be told. I can help you if you ask me to.
This is exactly Abigail's situation. Hello everybody, we're finally here at the final season of Hannibal. When I started season 1 and realized how good this show was, I was so thankful that we had 3 whole seasons of it, and now we're finally in the final stretch. Last episode I had to save that song. It's titled Bloodfest, the tune that was playing during Hannibal's speech and the conversation he had with Will and how he gutted Abigail. I think some of the shock from that last episode, it's still real for me. And the final shot of Hannibal getting on a plane with his therapist. Let's see what season 3 has in store for us. Thank you all for watching. Let's run it down. What a season.
If you think you're about to catch Hannibal, that's because he wants you to think that.
She was in on it the whole time, or what the was going on there? Is this a gun? Oh, engine. We're in Paris? Leave it to Hannibal to travel to Paris. Obviously, it makes sense he's not in town anymore because he fled. Please tell me this whole season will be just in Paris. Oh, I would love that. This is him, yes? Bad boy. I'm guessing he's not practicing therapy anymore. Is he here looking for someone? Obviously. Oh? You're not looking for a replacement for Will Graham already, are you?
Anthony Dimmond.
Boris Yakov.
I'd offer a hand, but...
It's a double-fisted kind of bash.
He was staring with the thinly veiled disdain of a man who does. I was his TA at Cambridge. He was insufferable even then. Have you read his books? They're terrible. You know they're terrible, you're just too polite to say. Blink if you agree. See? That doesn't stop him squatting over his keyboard and depositing a fresh one every 6 to 8 months. It takes me 6 to 8 months to write one line.
Why?
Poetry's hard. Too hard for Roman. That is easier for him to slide into academia and dissect the work of others than it is to stand by his own words.
One can appreciate another's words without dissecting them. Occasion dissection is the only thing that will do.
He knows that well. So people who do this joint with the knife and the cork, don't they fear risk of a little bit of that glass getting into the wine, or a little bit of that glass getting into the drinking glasses? No? Nice choice of props. Oh, is he a victim tonight?
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Good evening. He's not gonna see the morning, is he?
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Uh-oh. 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 Ooh. Is it his wife? Just a stranger in your house?
Bonsoir.
Just a stranger in your house eating your husband? Interesting. Gideon. Yep. Wasn't it just one leg for Gideon?
You really are the devil.
Devil has been a yoke on the neck of humanity since we first began to think and dream. I, for much shorter time.
You admit the yoke smells of
candy apples and thyme.
Smoked, glazed, served on a sugarcane quill.
Jesus Christ.
Do we all taste different?
Good question.
Cannibalism was standard behavior among our ancestors. Missing link was only missing because we ate him.
This isn't cannibalism, Abel. It's only cannibalism if we're equals.
What the?
This is only cannibalism if you eat me. You just feel this is the natural order of things. Everybody gets ate.
Him asking if we all taste the same. Him asking that make me think of Interview with the Vampire and this idea of what does blood taste like. In the show, skip the next 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But when Madeline asked Claudia, what does blood taste like? I loved her response. She said, like, it's food. Like, it's not like it's the freaking answer to the universe. It's just food, like we need it, which I loved. However, yesterday I was listening to an interview with Jacob Anderson, who plays Louis. I think it was the Autumn Brown interview. And I think they were joking around about what blood tastes like. And I believe he said when you drink someone's blood, it's not just their blood you're drinking like food, because I think she was saying something about how does it taste. But I love that he said it tastes like every feeling and emotion that person have ever had in their life. Like it tastes like it's such a high. Their blood tastes like, yeah, every good feeling they've ever had, any wonderful meal that they've ever had. He even joked about it, like one day it might taste like gravy, another day it might taste like this or that. And I haven't stopped thinking about that, because yeah, normally I just think about vampires consuming blood like, ugh, y'all just drinking blood. But the way he put it, that like you're drinking like every good feeling, or it feels like that, it's like, huh. So it made me think of what the question, Hannibal's answer about like everybody has their own flavor, got me thinking of that. Because even when he was talking to his doctor friend in the neuro surgeon in season 2, and I believe he asked Hannibal, what does a certain emotion smell like? And the way Hannibal described it, it got my brain buzzing. I'm like, oh man, like aside from the taste of the wonderful meals he's preparing, there's also this other universe of like flavor palettes that he absorbs when he's eating the flesh from them and their essence, and like incredible.
Be he fat or be he lean.
My last leg standing next to me, I should still wrestle with the urges to fight or flee.
It's called terminal restlessness. The body fills with adrenaline and feels compelled to go.
This is posthumous.
You're not dead yet, Abel. You still have to eat.
God.
No, I don't. At this point, there's absolutely nothing I have to do.
Because he's gonna kill you anyways.
I shouldn't spoil the fairy tale, should I? You and your little gingerbread house.
Calm
Let it
down.
be a fairy tale then. Once upon a time.
What a conversation. Wow, look at them dancing together. Bedelia.
Bellissima.
Dr. Fell, I hope you translate as well as you waltz, Mrs. Fell.
Our new appointee was confirmed by the board after close questioning.
Oh?
You've examined him in medieval Italian, and I will not deny his language is admirable.
Thank you.
For a straniero. Are you familiar with the personalities of pre-Renaissance Florence?
Bedelia knew he was after talking to Hannibal like that. The disrespect.
I think not. Dr. Fell might hold in his hand, in his non-Italian hand, a note from Dante Alighieri himself. Would he recognize it? I think not.
Why?
Would you do me the honor of a dance?
Of course.
She's trying to save your life. Why so condescending though?
Sembrava amore, tenendomi il cuore in mano. Aveva Madonna involta in un trappo dormento. Poi la svegliava del suo cuore ardendo. Lei, paventosa, umilmente, faceva. Ha preso giro. Non ne vedeva piangendo. That's his first sonnet. It fascinated Cavalcanti. The eating of the heart is a powerful image.
Let him face them, extempore.
I'm happy to sing for my supper.
So cold. So cold. You can't get hyped for him. So cold. I'm prepared to sing for my dinner.
I found a piece here that I would preserve. I've killed hardly anybody during our residence.
You created a vacancy at the Palazzo Caponi by removing the former curator.
A simple process requiring a few seconds' work on the old man. A modest outlay for 2 bags of cement.
You no longer have ethical concerns, Hannibal. You have aesthetical ones.
Ethics become aesthetics.
You seem more interested in making appearances than maintaining them.
If this is about my position at the Palazzo,
So their conversation so far is hinting that she is not under any sort of pressure to be here with him. And this is more of like a, I want to say mutual arrangement or mutual enjoyment of each other's time, but can't really say anything is mutual with Hannibal if it's not involving Will Graham. So, yeah, she don't seem to be a hostage or anything, so far at least.
once the path was cleared, I won the job fairly, on my merits.
Yes, even the most contentious Florentines can't resist the verse of Dante ringing off the frescoed walls.
One contentious Florentine can.
Have you given serious thought to eating Professor Soliato?
Wow.
My killing Suliato now would not preserve the peace.
Your peace is without morality.
Morality doesn't exist, only morale.
How you feel today.
How do you feel today?
I still believe I am in conscious control of my actions.
Okay.
That's a good day.
Wow. Okay. So there's a level of awareness on her predicament. So there might be some pressure here. Wow. Sinking. Did he like psychic drive her or something? Because we've seen him do it to obviously Will, probably Abigail, Miriam.
If you think you're about to catch Hannibal, it's because he wants you to think that. Don't fool yourself into thinking he's not in control of what's happening.
So was this genuine when she had that talk? Oh, we're about to see what happened. Oh, he was waiting. Was this where he came after that night? Of course. After slaughtering the love of his life.
May I get dressed?
You may.
Damn. That thing just hanging?
What have you done, Hannibal?
I've taken off my person suit.
Person suit.
You let them see you.
Just Will.
How does it feel, being seen?
Well, you're in no position to ask, Dr. Dumas. You ended our patient-psychiatrist relationship.
True.
I lacked the appropriate skills to continue your therapy.
True.
I never found you to be lacking.
I'm sorry I didn't provide you with a suitable substitute for therapy. Is Will Graham still alive?
Please tell us.
Will Graham was not a suitable substitute for therapy.
What was he?
Sorry, I just love that. She said she wasn't suitable for his therapy, and he said Will Graham wasn't suitable for therapy. And I love the through line there because he got out of his person suit, which was against kind of what she wanted, obviously because of the danger of showing them his true self, which made him not, you get what I'm saying? But for Will Graham refused his advances to be seen and betrayed him. And I love that he used that same statement, that Will wasn't suitable for therapy. Is that what they call rejection? Not suitable for therapy?
Is this professional curiosity?
Almost entirely.
Do you trust me?
Oh boy.
Not entirely.
If taken into consideration my beliefs about your intentions,
My intentions.
human motivation can be little more than lucid greed.
Greed and blind optimism.
You're optimistic I won't kill you.
She's sure of it. Wow. Bedelia deal with the devil much? Birds.
Due bottiglie di potamolusei.
Translation? So is he using Bedelia as a source for resources? But I'm sure a person like him is well connected around the world in case of emergencies. He got the job.
Hello. Bonjour. Mr. Yakov, isn't it?
Oh?
We met in Paris a few months back. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's just, here I was, and then there you were. I never forget a face.
Anthony Dement.
Nice to be remembered.
You're hard to forget.
What are you doing in Florence? You working with Roman?
Dr. Fell.
I heard he took an appointment at the Caponi Library.
Yes, he's the new curator and translator at the Palazzo Caponi.
Evidently the last one eloped with a woman. Or someone's money. Or both.
That's a commonly held belief. You just missed Roman.
Did I? Oh, I was hoping to take the piss.
Spare the piss for the time being. If you are free, my wife and I would love to have you for dinner.
Snails. Or these slugs. No, snails. Christ. Gideon.
Listen, they prefer eating in company. I've kept Cochlear Garden since I was a young man. Fattening snails on herbs and vine leaves. Like all of us, what they eat greatly influences and enhances their flavor.
Wow.
You wish me to be eating oysters, drinking sweet wines, and snacking on acorns, all to make me tastier?
Oh, yes. And you're making them tastier.
And you. Imagine what you must taste like.
For real.
Won't be long until someone's taking a bite out of you.
You're becoming brighter, Abel. Dying hasn't told you one bit.
And this gives me the feeling that Hannibal really truly is lonely. I mean, we saw that like finale of last season, right? The heartbreak that the only person who he let in did not want him or like betrayed him. Like him just hanging out here with Gideon, having chats, like the dude just enjoys company and wants company.
The snails are certainly having a lovely experience. Fattened on me in a red wine marinade.
Jesus.
They have no idea they're going to be eaten. We do.
Perspective. Where is Will Graham?
How well do you know the Fells?
As well as anybody. Would you be not really? Lydia, a friend of yours?
Not really.
Well, I'd be surprised to hear she had one. We share a mutual detestation. She disapproves of my disapproval.
What do you disapprove of?
Roman, mainly. Lydia isn't quite bright enough to see I'm just intimidated. Roman does, of course. Well, he loves to strike fear.
Dante wrote that fear is almost as bitter as death.
Dante wasn't dead when he wrote it.
You're traveling alone, Anthony.
The only way I travel.
Roman is speaking to the studio on Friday on Dante. You should come.
Sounds appropriately hellish. Are you avoiding meats?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying not to eat anything with a central nervous system.
Oysters, acorns, and masala. That's what the ancient Romans would feed animals to improve their flavor.
Oof. This is so tough.
My husband has a very sophisticated palate. He's very particular about how I taste.
Oof.
Is it that kind of party?
Whoa.
It's not that kind of party.
Hannibal is such a... When he said, is it that kind of party? Hannibal almost looked at her like, what do you think? If you want to, then this can be that kind of party. But respect to him that he noticed her discomfort and he shut that down immediately. Okay, so now the whole question in my head of Bedelia, like, why is she in this? I think some of the scenes like flip-flop it. Because when she almost like drowned herself, not drowned, but like when she put herself into the water, I feel like it almost like woke her up in a sense. So for me, like, I mean, why am I doing so much thinking about it? When he asked, how sure are you I won't kill you or something like that, her response was not entirely. So I think maybe that simple response is the answer. Like, she wants to be here, but not also entirely. She trusts him, not entirely. Obviously, she doesn't want to die and be eaten. So there's that fear there. An irrational human would be scared in that scenario. But when he brought up all the things she's eaten, and what the ancients used it for, you could see the fear in her eyes again. And I'm also getting a hint of this whole I can change him vibe from her. I'm not sure, because that would be very overly optimistic if she's staying around him because she feels like she can change him. Because she was asking him not to kill or eat so and so. Yeah, that bit made me chuckle when their guest asked, is it that kind of party? And he looked at her like a freaking happy puppy. Like, what do you think?
Is it that kind of party?
Look how he looked at her.
It's not that kind of party.
No, it really isn't.
Shame. You're both suddenly so fascinating.
Wow. He obviously wants Hannibal.
You let him go.
Well, would you have me too, Bedelia?
Nah, he's in control, Bedelia. Don't think you're having any influence on him. Because this man is unpredictable. And obviously, if any of my questions about Bedelia gets answered in future episodes, no need to write anything about it in the comments. She is afraid. Oh? Is she trying to escape? Hello? Oh, the incident. This is a flashback. What? Her hand down his throat? Did he coerce her to do that?
Bedelia.
He attacked me.
Is that your blood?
No.
Jesus Christ.
You were defending yourself?
How?
I was reckless.
This wasn't reckless violence. It was a controlled use of force.
I know what happened.
Do you?
He was your patient before he was mine.
He died under your care. You were not defending yourself.
This is exactly what he did to Abigail when she stabbed that kid that was after her, and he made it seem like she gutted him.
You were not defending yourself.
Manipulation. I mean, your arm was down his throat, so are we gonna get an explanation?
I can help you tell the version of events you want to be told. I can help you if you ask me to.
This is exactly Abigail's situation.
Will you help me?
In accord with my own taste for the pre-Renaissance, I present the case of Pietro della Vigna, whose treachery earned him a place in Dante's hell. He was disgraced and blinded for betraying his emperor's trust.
The devil.
7th level of the Inferno reserved. Like Judas Iscariot, he died by hanging. Judas and Pietro della Vigna are linked in Dante's Inferno. Betrayal, hanging, then linked since antiquity, the image appearing again and again in art. This is the earliest known depiction of the crucifixion, carved on an ivory box in Gaul about AD 400. The death by hanging of Judas, his face upturned to the branch that suspends him. On the doors of the Benevento Cathedral, we see Judas hanging with his bowels falling out. From a 15th century edition of the Inferno is Pietro della Vigna's body hanging from a bleeding tree. I won't belabor the parallels with Judas Iscariot. Betrayal, hanging, self-destruction. You feci petto a me della mia casa.
Wow. Almost directed at her.
Mr. Nimmond, welcome. Please join us. We were just about to discuss the matter of queuing in
Bedelia bit more than she could chew. This actually takes me back to art history classes. I loved all my art history classes, but those tests and exams, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, I've never studied for anything harder in my life. The lessons, beautiful. You learn significance, you learn dates, you learn the artist, you learn the art period. But when it came to those exams, and the exams weren't like simple, like multiple choice. You get like a picture, and it could be one picture out of 50 that you studied in that period. And from that one picture, you have to write a short essay about the artist, the time period, the significance, what the artist was going through at the time, how it impacted the culture and art in general. Boy, never again. Is she gonna survive this episode? Somebody is not impressed. You are not Will Graham.
Would you say I secured my position, Professor Soriato?
Admit it.
You all seem satisfied.
Satisfied? I thought the applause was downright enthusiastic.
Dr. Fair is a friend of yours.
I was his TA at Cambridge. What kind of friend would I be?
What kind of friend, indeed? Dottore?
Interested. Very persistent.
What still slaps at the clammy flab of our submissive consciousness hard enough to get our attention?
What wickedness has your attention, Mr. Dimond?
You.
Yours.
You.
I have no delusions about morality. If I did, I would have gone to La Polizia. I'm curious as to what fate befell Dr. Fell.
Oh.
You may have to strap me to the breaking wheel to loosen my tongue.
You overestimate my affection for the genuine Dr. Fell. Clearly, you found him as distasteful as I did.
Wow.
On the contrary.
Are we having another Tobias?
We can twist ourselves into all manner of uncomfortable positions just to maintain appearances. With or without a breaking wheel.
Are you here to twist me into an uncomfortable position?
I'm here to help you untwist to our mutual benefit.
Oh. Season 2 turned it up a notch. Wow, Bedelia. Yeah, season 2 turned it up a notch.
Observe or participate.
Observe or participate is crazy.
What?
Are you in this very moment observing or participating?
Jesus.
Observing.
You say you're observing, but this is participation, Bedelia. Did you know what he would do? I would prefer you answer honestly.
I was curious.
Curious what would happen.
That's his thing.
You're curious what Mr. Dimond would do, what I would do. Did you anticipate our thoughts, counter thoughts, rationalizations?
Yes.
Is this what you expected?
So was Bedelia hoping that Mr. Bloody over here would kill Hannibal and get that burden off her shoulder? I'm not gonna lie, I did not have the beginning of season 2 focusing on Bedelia like this on my bingo card. It is beautiful. You would think, how many years did you guys have to wait for season 3? I've heard it was a minute. So everybody coming back expecting to jump back into Is Will alive? Is freaking Crawford alive? Abigail. Is Alana alive? Is Will alive? But for them to like let us wait a little bit more and curate this like wonderful tale with Bedelia, it's like, man, she is scared.
What you expected?
Yes.
That was a lie.
That's participation.
Participation. Jesus.
What have you gotten yourself into, Bedelia?
For real.
Shall I hang up your coat?
Well, I guess this episode answered all my questions. She's trapped. The acting. The acting. My mom loves snails. The way she would make them, oh, I didn't like them, but goddamn. I'm happy to see him back in the show, though.
Would you rather I extended you the same kindness as to escargot?
Eating me without my knowledge, I find knowing to be far more powerful. Why do you think I'm allowing this?
Why do you think I'm allowing this?
Because snails aren't the only creatures who prefer eating with company. Only that company could be Will Graham.
Uh-oh.
I'm just fascinated to know how you will feel when all this happens to you.
And I love this because in a sense, you could say Will Graham took a bite out of him. Probably not in the way he wanted, but, you know, with their conversation earlier about the snails, when Gideon said, what would you do when the same happens to you? In my mind, I was like, Will did take a chunk out of him. I'm talking about the heartbreak, obviously, the rejection, how his heart bled in that moment. So it's almost like Gideon was manifesting everything he was saying right there. Oh, this is good. Oh. Did he do Bedelia too? Who did he mount like that? It's probably the dude who was like trying to mock him. And honestly, the way that dude was talking, he was giving me like, I mentioned his name, Tobias energy. Tobias, the serial killer that had the boxing match with Hannibal. Because when Tobias started talking to Hannibal and you could feel like, oh, Tobias is just like Hannibal. Well, as close as being like Hannibal as anyone else in this universe could be. You know, like he knows something. So it was giving me Tobias vibes, as if like he's also dangerous as well. But I think towards the end of the conversation, it was more of a sexual like advance towards Hannibal. I mean, it's always looked like that. But I was thinking it would more so be like maybe he's also a killer. Because with the way he started talking about how the person Hannibal replaced disappeared, the bonsoir dude, I was like, oh, he knows. But nah, he was just desperate for them draws. Oh, Bedelia. It's funny how Hannibal can make someone like, is it untrust or distrust their own like instincts? I mean, through the manipulation, the gaslighting, the getting into your head. I'm not sure Hannibal even gaslights. He doesn't feel the need to, because he has more sophisticated methods of getting into your head and with you. What a premiere. That was beautiful, man. Let's hop in the next one.
Are you here to twist me into an uncomfortable position? I'm here to help you untwist.
That's funny. Hannibal did twist him into an uncomfortable position. Oh, that's funny.
This has your attention, Mr. Dimond.
Not funny. Oh, my baby Will. My little monster. Monster in the making, I should say. I love how much we're going back this season. Like flashbacks and seeing some scenes from last time. Abigail.
I didn't know what else to do, so I just did what he told me.
Where is he?
And what we just saw of Bedelia last episode shows how what he did to Abigail or her actions makes sense, or makes more sense, or have more context. He just has this way of being this eloquent puppet master.
Where is he?
Behind you, man. He's Batman. Come on, dog. How can this guy, 6'5", freaking 200 pounds,
You were supposed to leave.
just sneak?
We couldn't leave without you.
Pause. For my interview with the vampire folk, obviously there's a lot of connections, right? And I feel since watching that finale, that line has stayed with me. You were supposed to leave. And I feel like that was so genuine from Will, because it's almost like Louis not burning Lestat's body after him and Claudia like dropped the coldest Uno reverse move, right? Because like Louis didn't have the heart, or the love he had for Lestat didn't allow him to finish it. So it's almost like Will did not also want to finish Hannibal. There's a corny sex joke in there, but I'll pass that. You know what I mean? So that you were supposed to leave is like, damn. Oof. That never feels good to look at.
Time did reverse. The teacup that I shattered did come together. The place was made for Abigail in your world. Do you understand?
Do you understand?
That place was made for all of us. Together. I wanted to surprise you.
Damn.
You wanted to surprise me.
After last episode, a lot of you in the comments, I talked about how I did not see a lot of the like sexual and romantic hints and things that were there. And after reading a lot of comments on some discussions by the creators and the crew, some of the Greek mythology that surrounded a lot of the actions and even some of Hannibal's drawings and whatnot, that combined with the restrictions they had when this was airing that were not as forgiving to homosexual like portrayals or gay portrayals as 10 years or a decade later with Interview with the Vampire. With some of all those things, like I appreciate all of you like bringing that to light, because it makes me look at a lot of scenes differently now. You know, a lot of you brought up like the tenderness at which they touch each other and whatnot. I've always seen it as, or I had always seen it before all this extra information came to my way. I had always seen it as just Hannibal like having Will in such high like regard and aspiration towards Will that it seemed to have this warmth. Because I mean, in my head there was a way you could covet something and admire and appreciate something without it being sexual or romantic. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the way I look at my animals and, you know, they feel warm and I love them and stuff. Is like, you know what I'm trying to say, right? Some things are just like platonic, but can be just as expressive and filled with like love and whatnot. But just saying thank you all for all the input from all these things that I mentioned. There was even some dope comments about the way Hannibal even cut Will and where he was cut. Almost like seemed like a C-section or even like another procedure. I can't remember the name. That is the procedure of like removing a person's womb and how that connects with him killing Abigail as well, and the whole energy of if I can't have you, no one can. Thanks is what I'm trying to say for all the additional supplementary information. I think it's up that they're making us watch this scene again though, because it is so heartbreaking and brutal.
I let you know me, see me. I gave you a rare gift, but you didn't want it.
Didn't I?
Didn't I? They fixed it.
You would deny me my life.
No, not your life. No.
My freedom, then. You would take that from me. Confine me to a prison cell.
I love that they fixed this here, because last episode I caught that as well. The subtitle last episode, in the finale said, come find me in a prison cell, which I thought was stupid as well. Because I caught that last episode that he was saying, come find me, like you would take away my freedom, like confined. So I'm glad they fixed it in this episode. Because come find me in a prison cell seems like a visit, like come visit him, which doesn't make too much sense in this context.
Confined me to a prison cell. Do you believe you could change me the way I've changed you?
I already did.
Mm-hmm. You did.
Fate and circumstance have returned us to this moment. When the teacup shatters, I forgive you, Will.
I bet Hannibal have nightmares about this night.
Will you forgive me?
Nightmares. I mean, the way she's so compliant of all of it is like he's in her head big time.
You can make it all go away. Put your head back. Close your eyes. Wade into the quiet of the stream.
Why are they making us see this again, man? It's done. There's no way you died, my boy. God damn. The teacup. He survived. Abigail definitely did not.
How do you feel? Thirsty.
Give him some juice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There's someone here very anxious to see you.
It can't be Hannibal. Alana. She survived? There's no way. There's no way.
They told me he knew exactly how to cut me. They said it was surgical.
What?
He wanted us to live,
Wow.
He left us to die.
but we didn't. He was supposed to take me with him. We were all supposed to leave together.
How are you so calm?
Abigail.
Why did you lie to him?
What?
The wrong thing being the right thing to do was too ugly a thought.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is she so relaxed?
He gave you a chance to take it all back, and you just kept lying. No one had to die.
Are you still drinking the Kool-Aid?
It's hard to grasp what would have happened, what could have happened in some other world, and did happen.
Having a hard enough time dealing with this world. Hope some of the other worlds are easier on me.
Everything that can happen, happens. It has to end well, and it has to end badly. It has to end every way it can. This is the way it ended for us.
Man.
We don't have an ending. He didn't give us one yet. He wants us to find him.
Is this some kind of dream, dog? Like...
After everything he's done, you'd still go to him.
What?
If everything that can happen happens, then you can never really do the wrong thing. You're just doing what you're supposed to.
Boy, lie down. What are you doing? Yeah, he must be high off the pain meds. Cause he's back in Hannibal's office. God damn, them armpits can grow dreads. So was Abigail a vision as well?
When we have gone from this life, I would always have this place.
In your memory palace?
The foyer is the Norman chapel in Palermo. Severe and beautiful and timeless. With a single reminder of mortality. A skull. Graven in the floor.
Was that a map to where to come find him? Was that a clue he left for Will? That's where Hannibal is heading, huh? 8 months. Palermo. Y'all really went there.
You feel closer to God?
God's not who I came here to find.
Came here to find the opposite. Under the skull. How did Abigail survive that? He wanted them to live.
What I believe is closer to science fiction than anything in the Bible.
We all know it, but nobody ever says that G-D won't do a G-D damn thing to answer anybody's prayers.
God can't save any of us because it's inelegant. Elegance is more important than suffering.
Oh?
That's his design.
You talking about God or Hannibal?
Hannibal's not God. Wouldn't have any fun being God. Defying God.
He loves that. Yep, that's the skull.
Nothing would thrill Hannibal more than to see this roof collapse. Mid-mass, packed pews, choir singing. He would just love it.
Who's behind you?
God would love it too.
He felt powerful. Boy, this episode has been so trippy. Whose body is that? Oh yeah.
Per favore, signore, è proibito qui, la cappella è chiusa.
La manna, non lasciarlo uscire. Voglio parlare con lui.
What did he say?
He said he wants to talk to you.
Where's Jack Crawford, please? Tell me Morpheus is still here.
Signor Graham, Chief Investigator Rinaldo Pazzi, Questura di Firenze.
What's up?
You're a long way from Florence.
You are a long way from Baltimore. I read everything I can find on FBI profiling methods. I read all about your incarceration.
Keep reading. I was acquitted.
You come to Palermo, and soon, very soon, a body is discovered. The priest at the Cappella dei Normanni said, you have been spending a lot of time there.
I've been praying.
There is some comfort in prayer. It leaves you with the distinct feeling you're not alone.
Signore, vieni con me.
Ciao.
Ciao. So you guys are just raw dogging this? No backup, no nothing?
Is Will Graham here because of the body at the Cappella, or is the body here?
Because of Will Graham.
Why are you here?
I'm like you. I do what you do. We share the gift of imagination.
Oh?
The scars of a man who grabbed his gift by the blade.
You grabbed the wrong end. Those moments when the connection is made, that is my keenest pleasure.
Knowing.
Knowing, not feeling, not thinking. You know who murdered that man and left him in the Cappella Palatina. I met him 20 years ago.
Holy
Il Mostro. The monster of Florence. It was his custom to arrange his victims like a beautiful painting. Il Mostro created images that stayed in my mind. 20 years ago, I was dwelling on a couple of pounds lane in the bed of a pickup truck in Impruneta. Bodies placed, garlanded with flowers.
Like a Botticelli.
Exactly like a Botticelli.
like a painting.
His painting, Primavera, still hangs in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, just as it did 20 years ago. The garlanded nymph on the right, flowers streaming from her mouth. Match.
Uffizi Gallery. That's where you met Il Mostro.
That's where I met this man. The monster of Florence.
It's him. Wow.
Success comes as a result of inspiration. Revelation is the development of an image. First blurred, then coming clear. To find the inspiration Il Mostro used was a triumph. I went to the Uffizi and stood before the original Primavera day after day, and most days I'd see a young Lithuanian man as transfixed by the Botticelli as I was.
It was him.
As transfixed as I imagined Il Mostro would be. And every day I saw him, he would recreate the Primavera in pencil, just as he did in flesh.
Christ.
I knew it was the best moment of my life, a moment of epiphany.
I like him a lot.
That made me famous, and then ruined me. In haste and heat of ambition, the Questura nearly destroyed the young man's home, trying to find evidence.
He doesn't leave evidence.
No, he doesn't.
He eats it.
Another man, not an innocent man, but
innocent of those crimes, was a dream suspect.
Just like him.
Flame has a habit of not sticking to Hannibal Lector. It has a habit of sticking to you.
I like his character. So he essentially was Will before Will. I mean, the way he did the body. I was gonna say, it looks like a heart.
Splintered every bone, fractured them dynamically, made you malleable. I skinned you, bent you, twisted you, and trimmed you. Head, hands, arms, and legs. A topiary.
Boy.
It's my design.
Don't touch it.
Valentine written on a broken man.
We are in February. Dog. The return. The art department in this season, man.
Will?
Woo!
I do feel closer to Hannibal here. God only knows where I'd be without him. He left us his broken heart.
How did he know we were here?
Oh, he didn't, but he knew he would come.
Eventually.
He misses us.
Hannibal follows several trains of thought at once without distraction from any. One of the trains is always for his own amusement.
He's playing with us.
Always. You still want to go with him?
Does she?
Yes.
He gave you back to me, and he took you away. It's Lucy and the football. Just keep...
For real. I don't understand. Could this be some kind of Stockholm? Although I heard that was debunked, but I don't know. Again, if any of these things are answered in the future, just ignore me.
What if no one died? What if we all left together? Like we were supposed to. After he served the lamb, where would we have gone?
In some other world?
In some other world.
He said he made a place for us.
The place wasn't made for you, Abigail. In this world, it's the only place I could make for you.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. She wasn't here. I knew it. I knew it. He was the only one seeing her. Is this man watching? Look at that. Side eye. Of course, they had to twist the knife. Yeah, man, because some of the things she was saying was not adding up. I'm like, why are you so calm, Abigail? As if something tremendously traumatic didn't just happen to you. And talking about going and being with him, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And very good on the show for like confusing us. Because we saw Hannibal, we saw Abigail, and then we saw him tripping balls and seeing things that weren't there. So initially I assumed Abigail as well was probably him tripping. But then they went to Italy and Abigail was there too. So I was like, oh, he's fully awake now. She did survive. Hannibal took her away from Will twice. No, 3 times. The first time we thought she was dead. The second time when he cut her that actually killed her. And obviously this third time we just watched, in his mind at least, she was real for this little bit. Call it coping mechanism, call it him mourning her and finally saying goodbye. Abigail, a victim through and through, man. What about Jack? What about Jack? What about Alana? Wow. The difference between a morgue and a hospital. Man.
Are you praying? Hannibal doesn't pray, but he believes in God intimately. I wasn't asking Hannibal Lector. I think my prayers would feel constricted by the saints and the apostles, Jesus Pantocrator.
How do your prayers feel? I hope my prayers escaped, flown from here to the open sky and God.
You should be praying he doesn't capture you.
For real.
I didn't had the Questura di Firenze for nothing.
You couldn't catch him when he was just a kid. What makes you think you're gonna catch him now?
For real.
You.
Makes you think I want to catch him.
Senior Graham.
What's going on?
If you could possibly be content, I would suggest you let Il Mostro go.
I can't do that any more than you can.
For real.
I'm gonna kill you, you know. I'm usually right about these things.
He let you know him. He sent you his heart.
Wow.
Where has he gone now?
He hasn't gone anywhere.
He's just like Will, for real.
He's still here.
Here in the city, here in the church. What you saying, Will? I mean, he was watching Will earlier, but... Are they gonna meet? Are they gonna meet? God, I am so hungry.
Hannibal.
Yeah, it's been 6 months. So Will is probably very healed. Please don't die. I like this new cop. This new detective. Don't be another Beverly. Or baby Beverly. I don't like all this darkness, man. I guess in a way, Will always feels safe. Because he knows Hannibal don't want to kill him.
Senor Graham.
I mean, he can cut your belly open, but... I would keep an eye on those bodies, my guy.
You shouldn't be down here alone.
I'm not alone.
You don't know whose side I'm on.
So.
What are you going to do when you find him? You're Il Mostro.
Curious about that myself.
Honest.
You and I carry the dead with us. Senor Graham, we both need to unburden.
Why don't you carry your dead back to the jail before you count yourself among them?
You are already dead, aren't you?
Buonanotte, Commendatore.
Jesus, he's right there. Please don't die. I like that bloke.
Hannibal.
Can he resist?
I forgive you.
We know he has good hearing. Cause now I'm thinking Abigail's, in Will's vision, Abigail's almost softness towards Hannibal, like her dream self, was that based on how Will was always also feeling about Hannibal? Like, what would you see? What would you do when you see him? Like, would you have left with him? What would have happened in another world? Because again, I mentioned earlier how that night, that bloody night, how Will said, you should have been gone. Like, you should have left. You shouldn't be here. Was almost Will's honest, like, mind about the whole thing of, like, him not wanting to kill or catch Hannibal. He just wanted him gone. I love the new detective, man. In this show, I do not trust when it comes to characters, man. I do not trust who is going to stay or who is going to die. Because I feel like, I mean, we're in season 3 now, but since coming into this, I kind of came in with some of my preconceived notion about Hannibal from watching Silence of the Lambs. Some of them stayed constant. This idea of, like, he finds some, like, quite rude and would kill someone for less. But characters that are established in that movie, I thought were safe here because this is kind of like a prequel to that movie. But after, what's his name? The one that Miriam shot, that was framed to be the Ripper. Frederick. After Frederick was killed, I was like, oh, this is not staying in line with that movie, you know? But yeah, man, they twisted the knife real deep with like Abigail's reveal that she was actually dead. And the side-by-side scene that they did with the surgery going on with Whale and her body getting like ready for burial like at the morgue, heartbreaking. I love our new detective, man. Rinaldo Perez, Inspector Rinaldo Perez. Pazzi said Perez. I love him. The idea that he's just like Will and he's been hunting Hannibal, or he had an encounter with Hannibal 20 years ago. I love that. I just hope nothing happens to him. Season 3, baby. We're cooking with hot grease, man. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. I would like to explore y'all's mind on this as well. I am starving. Good night, y'all. It's currently almost 9 p.m. So on Patreon, I'm sorry, this might come out at midnight or tomorrow morning, but had a busy day today. Peace out, y'all. Love.